Denison Street in Roxbury for a report of two people being attacked by a dog. On arrival, they entered the location and they observed two adult individuals suffering from wounds consistent with a dog attack. At that time, they immediately rendered first aid to both victims. While rendering aid at that time, two of the responding officers were attacked by the same dog, and one of the officers discharged their firearm, striking the dog. At that time, the two victims were transported to an area hospital, one of them suffering from life-threatening injuries, and the other suffering from very serious injuries. The dog was ultimately transported from the scene by animal control, and 3 additional dogs were also taken from the scene. The 2 officers were transported by Boston EMS to a local hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, we are looking, anybody that might know additional information about this incident or have any information about it, to please contact the homicide unit, 617-343-4470, or our tip line, 1-800-494-TIPS. The investigation right now is being handled, parallel investigations. The homicide unit, because of the extent of the injuries, was called out to the scene. They are conducting the investigation in parallel with our firearms discharge investigative team, obviously looking into the discharge of the firearm. At this time, they'll work closely with each other on that investigation.
Any questions?
Can you expand on the danger that the officers were in, just with the extent of this attack?
Well, at the time that they arrived, the dog was not with the 2 victims. So when they arrived, they immediately rendered the aid to the victims without the dog present. While they were there, the dog returned and attacked the 2 officers. So at that point, obviously the dog, given what he had done to the two victims, the owners of what we believe are the owners of the dogs, the officers made the decision to discharge and to put the dog down.
Did this happen in a backyard, front yard? Was it a fenced-in area at the time?
The original attack took place inside of a residence. The attack of the 2 officers happened outside in front of the house.
When you're asking for the public's help, are you interested in the history that this animal may have had, or is it more specifically about tonight?
I would say it could be about tonight if anyone were here that saw anything, but also about if there's any knowledge about the dog or any background information that they could provide. We certainly would take that and add it into the investigation.
And this was a pit bull?
I'm not going to comment on the exact breed because I'm not sure. That'll be determined, through the investigation.
All right, last question.
Are the 2 victims related, and can you describe, their relation to the dog?
We believe at this time that they are the owners of the dog, and they are related. Yes.
Mother or woman, man?
One is a woman, one is a man. Yes.
All right, thank you,
The
everybody.
life-threatening is the woman?
Yes. Yes.
Safe to say in her 70s, we had heard?
I don't have. Yeah, I don't have that. This is.
Anything else? It's preliminary.
This is very preliminary, and there's a lot of investigation to kind of figure out exactly how the attacks happened, and the attack on the officers and their discharge. That's going to be what this parallel investigation is about.
And the message given tonight is everything's okay now, going forward with the dogs being removed. There's no further concern.
The dog has. All 4 dogs have been removed. Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for the update. Appreciate it.
No, the dog is alive.
Yeah, keep him word.
The dog is alive.
Sean?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'm always working.
Rob, let's do those headlines.
Did you see how many sharks
Yeah.
there were?
By the way, I'm gonna have a roll.